and there's exhibitions there in Chicago Gaelic Park, The Famine in Mayo, The Writers of Mayo, The War of Independence in Mayo, Rebels in the Courthouse, Mayo GAA exhibition, in all kinds of weather. So it's going to be a great time. I'm so glad you're going, Jerry.
There. Matt Malloy from the Chieftains, he's going to be there. And,
Wow.
Eileen Ivers and
Excellent.
her band, they're going to be there, and lots of other entertainment
Yes.
too. And you know what?
What?
Almost forgot this. I'm going to be on the radio.
That's
Sunday.
great.
That
Okay.
Saturday. I'll be on the Saturday with Tom Flannery, who does an Irish program in Chicago. And I think Andy Kenny is going to be on with me.
Okay, is it live on Saturday?
Yeah,
Or it'll be,
it's live.
It's live.
It's live right
all right,
from-
well, Jerry, we'll have to put that out there.
Right from Gaelic Park.
Jerry,
And
what,
the name of the radio station, God, I shouldn't be announcing competitors, but
No.
what the heck, you might as well. Good Morning Ireland is the name
Okay.
of the radio station. And that's Tom Flannery, my friend Tom from Ballyhonus in County Mayo. All right, I'm going to start the program with play a few songs. Then we're going to call Dr. Christopher Johnson, because he's got his movie coming up, and it's going to be, like we said, at the Tree Lawn. It's going to be shown in the next few weeks. We want you to go there. And also, I think he has some tickets to give it. We're going to give away also. So
Fantastic.
stay with us.
an afternoon of Irish dance, music, and world competition qualifying the qualifying drama called Celtic Fire. The admission's $15. Seniors and students are $10, and 5 years old or under is only $5.
You know what?
Yes.
Before I left the house this morning, I said to Nellie, I says, I'm going to Murphy's concert today.
Well.
Would you iron my shirt and polish my shoes for me?
And did she throw him down the door? No, I'm kidding. Right. I would have been like, there's
I
the
still
iron
can't
for you,
find the
Brian.
shirt with the
No
shoes.
good. Right.
Did she file divorce
next
proceedings?
Next Sunday, check that out.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I want to talk to Chris right away. Chris, is it Christopher or Chris? Am I being too familiar if I call you by Chris?
No, Jerry, you can call me Chris.
Chris, you're kind of famous. You're in the Cecil B. DeMille carry.
I'm very close.
Very
Very close.
good. And anyway, I saw the movie when it came out last time,
Yes.
and you're doing it again at the Tree Lawn Theatre. First, tell people exactly where the Tree Lawn is.
It's on Waterloo Road, 153350 Waterloo Road, and it's owned by the same people who own Beachland.
Oh, Cindy
Cindy
Barber.
Barber is
Oh,
one
I
of
know
the
Cindy
owners.
well.
Yeah, and so it's right down the street. It's the former Slovenian social club, and they took it over. It's a beautiful building. It's 100-some years old, and they're restoring it and bringing in a great number of music acts and things, but they wanted to have theater and film
Yeah.
and dance too.
Well, the last time I was there, it wasn't up to the standard it is today.
No,
right?
it's come a long way. Yeah, they're spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
so.
they did, and it's good. All right, let's talk about the Ascension of Mary Mulligan. Quite a name. Where did you come up with that?
Well, I was trying to find a metaphor. It was inspired by my father's death of cancer. He had been in the hospital for the last 3 months of his life, and it was a very surreal experience, and I was trying to find something to capture that experience that a lot of us have had when someone dies of a long-term illness or has Alzheimer's or whatever, and you're watching that person and you see the person you love, but they're kind of being pulled away from you. So I came up with the metaphor of ascension, and Mary just made sense, and Mary Mulligan made sense, and the Burren made sense because it's such a magical place, mystical. So that's where I came
And
up with
it's
that.
you mentioned the Burn. Why did you pick the Burn?
I think I had fallen in love with it when I went there in 1978 after college and spent some time there and did some hiking, and it just made sense that she would go there, fall in love. She's Irish in the play that it's set in Ireland, and Mary Mulligan is from that area, and so it just made sense that she would be out there, and all of a sudden this thing happens to her. She starts to ascend, and nobody knows why. Nobody can figure it out.
So it's actually about a sickness, but you never mention.
Never mentioned.
It's never
no.
mentioned in the movie.
No, I did that intentionally. I think it's much more powerful, and everybody can connect to it. It's very universal. It isn't meant to be a very specific experience with one person or a hospital or a doctor or anything. It's completely separate from that, but I think everybody kind of figures out what it is.
What about the name Mary Mulligan? Anybody? You just picked it up.
Well, my mother, there was a kid that I went to Gilmore with. He was a couple years ahead of me, named Riley Mulligan. And so I just took Riley Mulligan as the husband in the play. And so Mary made sense because the Ascension of Mary. and so it has the religious connotation, but nobody knows what's happening. But then the priest comes in, and he's trying to figure it out, and so it's we had some fun with that.
It's all the different characters in the movie. These are fictitious characters,
Yes, it's
are
completely fictitious.
None of them your family names, huh?
No, no.
You didn't want to get sued, huh?
I didn't want my family to stay my family.
Yeah, usually when you write about your family, it can cause a bit of a problem. So you have Mary Mulligan, and then the central character, and Riley Mulligan.
Yes,
She,
played by John Busser.
yeah, and then you have Marcel Mulligan.
Yes, that's the daughter,
That's
Sarah Blubaugh, who came in last year. She talked to you.
a student at Ennis Community College, right?
Yes, in the play. Yes.
And talk about how old is Declan Mulligan?
Declan happens to be with us today.
Yeah.
Played by Bob Goddard, and he's the father, the father-in-law.
He's the retired construction worker.
Yes, he is.
And he's got quite an impressive resume, I see.
He does, and I know Bob had done a number. I had seen him in plays where he did an Irish accent, and I knew he could nail it, so he was perfect for this part.
Yeah, in fact, it says in his resume here, his accents are standard British, Cockney, Irish, Scottish, German, French, U.S. Southern, vocal range, and a bass baritone.
He's very
Quite an
gifted,
accomplished.
very gifted actor, and fun to work with.
Yeah, there's another fellow here in Cleveland named Mike Mazar that used to do the same thing. He doesn't do it anymore. Did you ever meet him, Bob? Mike
don't know,
Mazar?
no.
Yeah, he lives on the south side of Cleveland here. But the Playboy of the Western World. Let me talk to him for a minute about this. You did the Playboy of the Western World. We've done that several times here in Cleveland. Kevin McGinty, the late Kevin McGinty, did that. Did you know Kevin?
I know his name, but I don't know the man now.
Oh yeah, he passed away a few years ago, and he kept the Irish theatre going in Cleveland for years. The Cleveland Irish Players, and he used to take the group back to Ireland and then do a play. But the Playboy of the Western World was one of their favourites.
It's a famous old play.
Yeah.
It caused an enormous amount of controversy when it was
That
released.
was O'Casey, was it? Who
Yes,
was- yeah,
that's
Sean
Sean
O'Casey.
O'Casey,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think he thought it was going to be so controversial when he wrote it.
I don't think he meant it to be, but I think a lot of people took it or misinterpreted it as being.
When he killed his father.
Yeah, that's right. And it was a bit of a slight on the underclass of Irish society, and they raised quite a ruckus when it was originally produced. Yes.
But you do a lot more than Irish. I see The Life of Galileo.
Yeah, I was in a production at the Cleveland Playhouse when it moved from East 86th Street down to the Allen Theater, and it's a biographical play about Galileo, which I did not know much about. And if you know a little about theater, Bertolt Brecht wrote it, and his plays are always very presentational. And it breaks the fourth wall of theater, basically, leaning into the audience and saying, we're going to do this now, and then going ahead and doing it. And it was a wonderful production.
So you also did Dracula, I see.
Oh, I did Dracula. I played Renfield, his bug-eating assistant many years ago. Yeah.
Was Deirdre Ray in that one?
No, I did play with Deirdre, called The Big Meal at Obama, where we shot the Chris's film.
Did you eat a bug?
I had a small leather pouch with raisins in it that
Oh,
subbed
good
as,
move,
as,
good move.
as flies.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed being Declan Mulligan?
I loved the experience. I think.
What
Chris's,
did Chris do? Did he just call you up one night and he said,
did.
"Look, you're going to be in this play"?
Well, as you said, he is a bit of a Cecil B. DeMille of Cleveland and knows a little bit about everybody, and he's got his cache of actors that he enjoys employing as often as he can. And the group was wonderful, the script was terrific, and the film is a lovely piece of art.
Chris, when are we starting the movie? When does the movie start?
Well, this is a special screening on May 3rd at 7 o'clock. So we've shown it around in different places, but we wanted to come back to Treelawn. They were very good to us last year when we did the premiere, and so we're doing a kind of an encore presentation this year.
What time?
7 o'clock, 7 p.m.,
At the Treelawn.
not 7
So if you
a.m.
know where the Beachland Ballroom is, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, it's just west of that on that same strip there.
So these whole cast of characters are going to be there.
That I don't know.
they-
I've invited everyone. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to hear from
yeah,
everyone. So
Now, this is a movie, this is not a play, this
Yes,
is
yes,
an actual,
it's a
actual
film.
movie.
it was shot during the pandemic, so we couldn't do it live. So Dave Thomas, one of our producers, a friend of mine, suggested that we film
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I think I met Dave.
Yeah,
He's a friend
I-
of Mike Coyne's, isn't he?
Yes, they're very
That's
close.
right.
They were our two producers.
And
the Irish American Charitable Foundation.
that was the funding came from the Irish American Charitable
Yes.
Foundation. God, I hope it does well. That's a great organization. I'm on the board of
It
that
is, yes.
organization.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So talk about, how about the other characters, Father Fitzgerald?
Well, the name is taken from the priest at St. Clair, where I grew up, but it's not based on him at all. Father Fitzgerald was very old school and kind of a fire and brimstone guy. If you stood near the doors, he made you come in and sit in a pew. And
Okay.
great, I just have fond memories of him. But so I took the name, but the character is not at all based on him.
Now you have a character in here called Ishleen. Where'd you come up with that name? Ishleen? It's new to me. It's like Eileen or...
Yeah, it's just an Irish name that I did some research. I tried a couple different names, and that seemed to work for her. So I left it. But all the names
Well,
really...
she's from Achill Island, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, she ends up in Dublin, but she's born in Achill, as she says in the play, but she ends up living in Dublin, and then she gets married, and they come out to the Burn for their honeymoon, she and her husband.
And then you have Arden, A-R-D-A-N.
Yes, that's her husband.
He's from Waterford now. Yeah.
You know better than
Yeah,
I do,
oh, I got
Jerry.
it. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it, yeah. Now living in Dublin.
Yeah,
But all
that's
the-
just backstory.
But you had to get all these characters together, and you directed it, produced, directed, you did it all.
Anne McAvoy directed it, a good friend of mine who's done quite a bit of, she's Irish American too, a little bit, and so she directed it for us and did a beautiful job. Again, working during the pandemic was difficult. They did a number of rehearsals via Zoom, which is not ideal, and then they brought it all together at the Obama, which they let us use the space as kind of a black sound stage.
Okay, we're going to come back, we're going to play a song here, then we're going to come back and talk more. Here's the Border Collies, and it's called The Man in the Bog. Bill, do you have any question?
Yeah.
Or John, tell them in advance what you're going to ask them.
That's cheating.
No, no, it's not. No, no,
it's
no.
cheating.
No, no.
No, you
Do you have any question? Oh, okay.
I have two questions. So you'll be able to handle them.
Don't.
I got to train Jerry on journalism here.
Oh, I like it.
No, just I want to know why you did it. What was your purpose? And have you submitted to any festivals? Don't answer now.
I didn't punish myself.
I covered everything, I think, on my notes.
Yeah, I think so. I just, with the, I know it's Friday, May 3rd, and how do you buy tickets? So just to make sure how we buy tickets.
Patrice, we got a song coming up that's part of this show, this movie. And which one have I got queued up? Let's see, a Stone McCree, Ancient Celtic Music, that one.
So these songs that are in the film, The Ascension of Mary Mulligan, are actually old Irish songs, almost laments. And the director of the film, Anne McAvoy, she has two nieces who have absolutely beautiful voices, and they are the ones that give voice to this lament that you hear in the middle and at the end of the film. And the music is just beautiful. They did a fantastic job. But Anne McAvoy, she's the one that brought them into us and said, we have the right soundtrack for this. And so we were thrilled to have them contribute to the film because, you know, the words tell you what to think, but oftentimes the music tells you what to feel.
Yeah, the Storm McCree, I think that means, and I go to Sarah probably to verify this, love of my heart is Storm McCree, is that right? Is that right? I'm forgetting my Gaelic, you know, it's been a long time. So anyway, we play that now. Patrice, you did the introduction, here's it, Storm McCree.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for coming and listening to the show.
Say that over again.
We have 3 songs that were recorded for us, and that was one of them.
That was one of the,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they were just beautiful to really enhance the soundtrack at that point in the film.
How about the camera work and the sound? How did you guys do that? You did it during COVID, and I'm sure you didn't have a Hollywood production studio to work in it.
No, we worked at Obama, and because there was nobody in there, they weren't using it, we were able to set up the space. You don't see any seats, you don't see that it's a theater, it's just a black sound stage that we used, and put up black drapes that, so we could cover everything. So you really don't see any of that in the film.
I don't even see Mary Mulligan heading for heaven.
You do, which was actually easier to
Oh, you
film.
do actually, yeah.
Yeah, you do see her ascending, and that's easier to film because he could move the camera to make it look like she was above, and we had all the actors. They every scene they looked at a different point, so they looked like she was in a different place.
Do you know now that you mentioned that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, this past week, he said there was no heaven or hell. There was all this crap he said about people going to heaven. We ought to send him this movie.
I tried to get him, but Bob took his place
Good.
because he looked
Nice
so much like him.
substitute. Nice
He says,
substitute.
I don't believe in all that baloney about a next life. What?
He's from Austria.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, very good. We'll come back and talk some more about it, but I want to get to Sarah McInerney. We're going to talk about the Rose Rally. After I play the few commercials, Sarah, we're going to talk about the Rose Rally. great, great song. And it's an old one.
Oh yeah, but all the Irish old classics. I
Great,
think
aren't
every
they?
Irish kid grows up listening to them.
Anyway, welcome back to the program, Rose and Charlie. You were the Rose and Charlie last year,
2022 actually.
23
yeah.
actually, yeah. So it's back on this year,
Sure is.
and Mike Killeen is still the CEO.
Yep, sure
Yeah.
is.
All right, that's good. So what's the plans for this year? When is it? What is it? Where's it at? All that good stuff.
So all that good stuff. So applications are coming up kind of close. So April 27th, which is Monday week, is when applications close. So for all the young ladies out there who have Irish heritage and want to get involved, please head over to rosatralee.ie to get your applications in. And if you want to learn more about the festival here in Ohio, go to ohiorose.com.
You can go to either one though.
You can go to either one. They all have the information
and
there.
give a lot of information.
Yeah,
out.
the applications do have to go through the rosatree.ie website is the only kind of difference there, but there's links for the two across the two, but so that is, April 27th, so Monday week, so it's coming up close. And then the selection night itself for the Ohio Rose is going to be June 9th at the Westside Irish American Club.
Is that a Sunday?
Tis, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday. It's a great event.
It's
I've,
fab.
I've been to every one of them since it started.
Very good.
Bridget Linton was the first.
Mhm.
Was that 2011?
I
think it
believe
was.
so. And Bridget has been engaged the whole time. She's also going to be our MC for
she's
this
here.
year too.
Oh.
So there's just an awesome community that's always involved year over year. So it's great.
So I heard through the grapevine that the Cleveland Rose of Tralee was very well received in Ireland, highly respected.
It's one of the longest standing Ohio Rose Centres in the US. So they've just done an incredible job year over year having a selection of women to represent Ohio. So it's been an honor to be a part of it. And I think that representation has been well received year over year in Ireland. I think Ohioans are very much like the Irish. We know how to have a good time and how to take a joke and how to be the life of the party sometimes. So I think we're well received.
you won it last year and you went to Ireland. Could you explain what that's like, taking that trip?
Yeah, I sure can. So I won in 2022. So it was the year post-COVID. So there was a lot of things to navigate, let's say.
Right.
But it was still an awesome experience. I headed over again, I'm from Ireland, so I extended the trip to go see family. But it is a week to a 10-day tour throughout the country. And to my delight, I thought I'd be seeing places that I've always seen, being from home. But I got to see the most incredible 5-star castles and resorts, the Coolmean Stud. That was a childhood dream of mine to get into that stud. So being able to see the places that I saw over the week was just fabulous throughout the country. So the tour was really where I fell in love with the festival. And then at the end of the week, you end up in Tralee for 3 days, where the main festival is hosted.
And that's the final in Tralee. But first, you have to get through the regional here in America.
Yeah. So the Ohio selection is kind of a small taste of what the whole festival is like in Ireland. So there is a short kind of tour around Cleveland, so you get to see some of the Cleveland signs.
One of those limousines.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's when the Ohio Rose selectors get to go and create kind of a sisterhood in a sense. So you get to meet the girls, spend time together, grab a cup of tea or coffee and chat, and get to learn about just these incredible women with Irish heritage who are just doing incredible things from their state and their counties. So so you do that in Cleveland, and then there is a selection night. So everybody gets all dolled up in their finest, and there's a bit of an interview, a little bit like this. And some people can do a party piece if they have one, whether that's recite a poem, sing a song, tell a joke.
You don't have to, though.
You don't have to. You don't
Right.
have to. No. I played hurling on my own, an Irish sport. So you can
going
get creative.
I was going to get to that. You got quite a resume, though.
I do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're a sports person. You like hurling, which is unusual for women. Do you ever crack some of the women across the shins with that hurling stick?
Well, camogie can
There's
be
no-
a brutal
there's no
sport.
swearing.
There is, something
Yes,
might
there
happen under the breath from time to time, but
Yeah.
no, it's camogie is a great sport, and the Cleveland GAA here, the community here is thriving. So just the Irish community here is it's an incredible
But
yeah,
you're,
very good.
Sarah, your private life though, you're a pretty accomplished person though in your private life, aren't you? What have you got, a master's in biotechnology?
I have a PhD actually
PhD?
in integrated bioscience. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm currently
Why are you even talking to us?
because my Colleen told me I had to.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he won't get the sponsorships. Well, Mike always, he follows the money. He knows how to do it. So a person though that gets, some people listening to this now, they're saying, oh my God, there she is, PhD. I don't have a PhD. It isn't a governing factor at all, is it?
Not at all. The only governing factor really is your Irish heritage.
Yeah.
And living in the US.
And a personality.
And that's really it. And it's not able to stand on the stage and tell jokes and be the life of the party type character. It's
No.
just your individual